Welcome everybody to Dream Right Go. Remember to like and subscribe. I'm DWG. Let's get it. Hey there, thank you so much for being here on this video and checking out all of my other videos. I have provided timestamps so that you can jump to the section that is most interesting to you. Today we're going to be covering a variety of things dealing with Novelcrafter. However, I would like to know from you what part of creating a story is the most challenging for you. For me, it is basically everything except for coming up with the ideas and the basic concept. Everything else after that is a challenge for me. And that is part of what this channel is about, overcoming my challenges. I would like you to comment down below what part of creating a story is most challenging for you and what are you going to do about it to overcome those challenges. I look forward to reading your comments down below and responding to them. Right now on your screen, you see a picture of the episode right before this one. In that episode, I'm talking about connecting Novelcrafter to OpenRouter. In that video, I said that you have to have Novelcrafter open along with the tab of OpenRouter. I've heard from the developer of Novelcrafter, Spaceemotion, which thank you so much for being here, Spacey, and commenting. And she says, thank you for the video, but she doesn't know where that myth has come from that you have to have OpenRouter and Novelcrafter open at the same time. This is not true. So I want to correct that. Whenever I'm doing my studies and whatnot, and I write down in my notes, I pick that up from somewhere else. I'm not exactly sure where. However, that is wrong and I want to correct it. You do not have to have them both open. Although if you do have them open, it will work as I show in this video. But I want to clear up that myth. That does not have to be. Now back on the home screen of Novelcrafter, whenever I get into my Novelcrafter, the first thing I like to do is look at the roadmap and feedback section. If you click on your name, the drop down will happen, go to feedback and roadmap, and it'll open up this section, which is a plethora of great information. One thing I love to look at is under review because it shows what kind of ideas are bouncing around. And the one that I like right here is where it says quick create ideas. And in that section, they're talking about having a section in Novelcrafter where you can basically develop ideas without, say, creating an entire novel section, which I think is pretty good of an idea. I personally would like a brainstorming section, a place that you can kind of bounce around with these ideas that are outside of, say, a novel section. And in that brainstorming section, I would like it to be off to its own self, that I could start a new brainstorming section about something completely different, you know, a fresh start from there. But that's just my thoughts on it. Okay, so now back onto the homepage of Novelcrafter. We have a couple different things here whenever you first start off. You'll notice that I don't have any type of novel here or any type of project that has been created on this screen. We have here novels, which we're underneath that section right now. You can click on series if you're going to create a series. So you could create the name of a series and you could add books to that series. You will see here that if I hit select that I have two open ones here. This is when I was playing around with it and learning how it works. The one thing I do wish that I could do, I wish I could delete these in the sense of, I wish that these untitles were gone. So if I click that, I can add a new series name and everything like that. But I don't know, it's just me. It's not something to be concerned about. However, if you're brand new to this, these won't be here. So I want to make sure that you know that. Any case, if you do start a new series, you would click this button here, new series, and then you would name the new series, and this would open up to where you could put your description, so on and so forth. Now from here, you can go ahead and click novels again, and it'll bring you back to the novel section, which I don't have anything there. And you also could click on collaboration. However, I don't have the level of service that comes with collaboration. And that's okay because it's not something that I particularly need. Next, let's go to the top here and click on prompts. So here is kind of predefined prompts as far as I understand it, and I have to dig into this more to understand it. But if we click on the general purpose system right here, it gives you an idea of the different LLMs that are out there, the different chats that you can talk to and do general purpose type of things from my understanding. Okay, so now that we're back on the main page, we look over to the right and we see that there's a section for you to search things. So if you had a bunch of novels and series here, you could actually type it in here, search it, and it would bring it up to the front for you. At least that's how I think it would work. Then you can sort by name, hit it, and you can sort by series, date, or author. You also have a date here, grid, and list. I'm going to leave this here alone, but I'm going to change it to series. After I've changed it to series, I'm going to jump up here to the series section and click it. and then hit select. Now, you may have to hit new series because you don't have one of these open buckets yet. I'm going to go ahead and click on the first one that says untitled for me. And in here, I'm just going to type in TOCV. You'll see what that means later, but that's what I'm going to name this series. I'm going to leave this empty for right now and jump back over to novels. From novels, I'm going to click on create a novel. However, before I go any further, you will also see import. So there is a feature where you can import an already created document as a novel, as I understand it. All right, so let's go back to create a novel. And once I click that, it gives me a section in order to put in a novel name, a pen name, and then here you will see that the series options is TOCV, which is the series that I've already created. But that might be empty for you. It'll probably look like this. So you can hit the drop down and say, oh, okay, there's the series that I created. I'm going to click that, okay? Now, underneath the book series or the series index, you'll see book 1. I'm going to change this to book 0, and you will see why later on. In the pen name here, I'm going to do DWG. And then for the novel name, this right here, the Origin Codex Vespigen. You can also click on Surprise Me, which it'll just come up with some random name for you to get you started. Now that that has been done, I'm going to click on Create Novel. Now we are in the section where you can create your novel or the information for your novel. Now, I am in waters right now that I am starting to learn and get better at, all right? The first thing I'm going to do is click here where it has the Origin Codex, TOCV Book 0. I'm going to click on the gear. And once I click on the gear, we have a place right here to upload a cover for your novel. So if you have a cover already made up for your novel, or even if you want to have a placeholder, but having something there, in my opinion, would be better. Now, with that said, we're going to jump over to my Canva. Now, what you will see is this book cover. If you have Canva, you can jump inside of Canva and type in, book cover, and it'll give you kind of this, not this particular template, but it will give you the square, and you can pick from different book covers to edit. Once you get that, you'll have the right dimensions. Now, this is my imagery that I created inside of Canva to become a book cover. As you can see, Origin Codex, right? I did a couple different things, Dream Right Go. Here goes another image of mine that I made for a book cover. And there goes another one, and here goes another one. Now, this one is the one that I am going to choose right here. However, inside of Canva, down the left-hand side, if you add the app, right here is apps, right? So from here, you can pick different apps to add to your Canva. You would simply search for and add Magic Media, which is this one right here. From here, you can create different images. So what I'm going to show you here in real time is a prompt that I made up real quick. I'm going to leave the styles and everything alone. Underneath the aspect ratio, I'm going to go ahead and choose the portrait style, okay? So let's click, all right, we put that in there. Let's hit enter, or you could hit generate image. Okay, so as you can see, it has generated an image for me. I'm going to scroll down to this image right here and just pull this one over so that you can take a look. So here we are back in Novelcrafter. I'm going to upload that. I'm going to click on upload your cover, connect to the cover that I created, open it, click on crop, and that will populate this section. And here we go. I have my Origin Codex, and the reason that I called it Origin Codex was basically off of the fact that this is called the Codex that we're going to be dealing with a little bit here. And in my Codex, now this is my plan for this particular section. This is not a novel. This is the world that I am building, that all of my stories will happen inside of. This is not a novel in of itself, but the world. Now, the reason that I made this a series is because if I understand this correctly, the information that's going to be in this section underneath this origin codex, since it's under a series, all other things that I make, the novels and everything, will be able to pull from this section if I understand that correctly, okay? So once I have this here, and we're going to go ahead and click on to the codex, right? Now, underneath the codex, we have a new entry. I'm going to click on new entry. What I'm going to put here is a character entry. And underneath this character entry, I am going to call this character is going to be the main character, not the main character, but it is the creator of this universe, which is Uooam. Now, I spell it a couple different ways. I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to stick with that right there being, the exact name. You'll also notice that there's a place to put an image. So I want a picture of Uooam here. I'm going to go ahead and click that, and I'm going to choose this image right here and bring that up. And this is an image of Uooam. Now, Uooam is not actually something that you're able to see in this universe, but I made it visually to say, okay, if it was not as bright as it is, this is what Uooam would look like. And now you see that Uooam is here, the name, and there's an image of Uooam there. Underneath the tags, we're going to go ahead and click on add. Now, for Uooam, I'm going to say that Uooam is the protagonist. Underneath the aliases and nicknames, I'm going to put here that Uooam is the Nexus of creation. Going in here. And now we have a nickname or alias. So while I'm writing different things that are dealing with this particular universe or the creation of this universe, it will be able to reference that if I happen to say something about the Nexus of creation, it knows that I'm talking about Uooam. Okay. Now, underneath the description, I'm going to put a short description for the AI to talk to or reference, information about Uooam. So if Uooam is ever mentioned, the AI will know that Uooam is this and that and this and that. And this is where the information that will be, ready for the AI to talk to or reference Uooam. Now, the voice that you're about to hear, you will recognize it from other different places. It pronounces the name of Uooam incorrectly, but you will get the gist of it. So let's hear about Uooam and what Uooam is.
The originator, Uooam, appeared piercing the void, with a cosmic spark that ignited the symphony of creation. Its purpose transcends understanding. It is both the sculptor and the clay. From its core emanates a brilliance beyond mortal sight, a beacon of potential. When Uooam stirred, it unfurled the creation wave, an ethereal tide that surged outward, giving birth to universes, galaxies, and realms. Each ripple in this cosmic sea became a cradle for existence, including our own realm, Spaceemotion.
Okay, so that is what Uooam is all about, and I hope that you liked it. Just to show you guys, this is the first part of when I was creating this universe years ago. You remember I told you that I would get these ideas, I'd be able to scratch it down, but I never could continue with it. But you can see here that this is the stuff that I created. There was something that was called a Galactiverse, which I don't have that anymore. It's called, I changed these to realms, and a lot of different other information that is inside of here. So I just wanted to show you guys that you don't have to let the AI do everything for you, but you can do whatever it is that you want to do, and then let it help you get through the rough spots. Now, another thing that I want to show you right now, you remember I named my series Book 0. And you'll notice right here that once I put in the codex, a number 1 came up. And I understand sort of why that happened. The first time I noticed this is I had put the origin codex as being number 1, and then this changed to 2. I'm not exactly sure why that happens. I'm sure that there's a good reason to why, but I wanted it to match up. So the reason that I called this book 0 is so I could go back, click on this codex, and once I did, or not the codex, but click on the series, and now I'm going to go back and change it from book 0 to book 1. That will change, and now that matches. Again, I don't know if there's a reason to why that happens. I just know that for me, it bugged me. So I wanted it to say book 1, and I wanted it to match up. And of course, go and check out Novelcrafter's YouTube and subscribe. They have class every Saturday, which I find to be very valuable. You can go ahead and pick up Novelcrafter. It is a wonderful piece of software. They are not affiliates of mine. They don't know that I'm saying, this or anything like that. I'm not getting paid for it, okay? They're just good people with good hearts and a great piece of software, and they're getting it done. This is DWG. Peace.